Oh, yeah, that was a weak one, but hey, we are talking about
Oh
some fun topic
yeah.
today. Woo!
What are we talking about? Let's let the people know.
We're talking about the devil's lettuce, the ganja,
Satan's broccoli.
Satan's broccoli, the devil's fault. We are talking about weed,
Weed.
something we
The
have a little
plant.
experience in.
Yeah, yeah. I've had this bowl for probably I don't know. Probably 5 years. At least five
Really,
years. Yeah.
really.
Actually probably closer to fucking I don't know. Probably 6, 7 years I've had this bowl.
I've
I've
had
had it
this
for a
one
while.
for about 3 months, probably. No, it's been a little bit longer, but definitely not a year, and definitely not
Also
5 years.
also have a bong that I don't use anymore. I got
Oh,
this I got this cool little cup.
oh,
Rustaman.
yeah, mom.
It's one of those ones. Flips. Boom.
If you know, you know.
That's right. If you don't, good for you. It's a
What have you
gateway
been up
drug.
to
I don't
today?
care what anyone says. What have
Gateway
I
to
been
the
up?
fridge.
Yeah, no shit. What have I been up to?
Yeah.
Not a whole lot. It's been pretty lazy today. Um, Started to take a wee nap, and then a dog
Oh, a
woke me
wee
up.
nap.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Bodicea
Just
woke you up.
wee little nap. Yeah. Fucking smashed in the door like a madman, like she does.
As one does.
She jostled me awake.
Some okay coffee right there.
What about you, Dustin? What have you been up to?
Oh, I worked. I had an estimate this morning and kind of went a little bit long, but it's all right. It was a nice guy and a little old man with a cabin up in the woods, and so he just built it over the past, I want to say, 2 years. I think he said, and just needed some gutters, and he's got some extensions going on, so I helped him with that, and yeah, it was pretty good.
Right
Very
on.
very easy job today, which doesn't happen very often.
Gotta love those.
Yeah,
I
he
dodged a
was
bullet.
sold before I even got to the to the price. He was already in.
It's
So,
like, say no more, son. I am sold.
but it
God, you
helped
are
that I
handsome.
it did help that I had just last week or the week before did an estimate for his son, and
Oh,
so and me and his son got along really good right off the bat because we were both into some similar things, especially antique stuff, and so
swimmingly. You got
swimmingly.
along
So
swimmingly.
I believe that helped the sale. It's all about establishing trust and then following through with that trust that's given. That's the sales, you
Right.
know.
It's equal parts who you know and who you blow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
In,
No,
in a
no.
manner of speaking. I mean, not
In a
literally.
ma- in a
Of course, we're
manner, in
not
a manner of
animals.
speaking.
We're not animals. In the biblical sense of the word,
Right, right.
blow.
No, no. Oh,
Um. All right. Well, that doesn't sound too bad.
no, it
That
was a
sounds
pretty good
pretty
day.
nice.
Pretty
I
good day.
love easy days. I hate hard days. They make
Which
me really
in
angry.
retail, it's always a hard day. But
Yeah. There's okay days and there's fucking shitty days, man. If you've never worked in retail, folks, don't do it. Okay.
off
I
topic
used.
for sorry before you go off on your tangent.
It's not quite bullshit. Okay.
And now I've got my finger on the button, but it
Doesn't
is
call for the second.
respectfully loosened up. I'm not like ready to push it.
Your finger's not itching.
Yeah, no, it's not itching. It's just relaxed. I
It's
know.
ready. Ready.
Yeah, it's ready because I know this topic. I don't want to overuse it, so I got to be sparing.
Right. Right. There's only 6 rounds in the chamber.
But off topic and on topic of what we were saying, but not off on topic of what we're about to talk about. I believe everyone entering the workforce, no matter what your societal level is, should have to work retail or fast food once for, I'd say, a minimum of 6 months.
Yeah. Okay. I might meet you halfway, but as a profession, as a
Oh, as a
life
profession,
change,
no one should have to do it.
don't do it, folks.
No, this is one
Only
of the few
leads.
times that I'd say AI is the way to go.
Yeah. I feel that way about fry cooks and everything, dude. Like, get those miserable fucks out of there, man. They hate their
For their own
fucking jobs.
sake.
I'm,
For
I'm
their own
not
sake.
saying, yeah, I'm not saying like, oh, they don't deserve their jobs. I'm just
No,
saying,
no,
let them
it's
do
not an
something
indictment on
wrong,
them.
man.
It's the
Yeah,
abuse.
yeah. It's well, I mean, I hate to be that guy, and it's coincidental that I have a mustache. I swear, but there's there's the part where the industry sucks, but there's also the lack of wanting to be there and the wanting of more than it can ever be. Like, I'm
Yeah,
sorry, but these perfect jobs don't exist. Even people that go and get educations and shit. I mean, I'm sure they have stuff that they bitch about in their jobs too. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, what is not um being the CEO if not big retail? No, I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? Like, it's not like that dude's fucking happy. He's got the pressure of everything on his
yeah.
shoulders.
The difference is he can wipe his tears with $100 bills,
Ah, that's
whereas
true.
you're scraping up to find that $1 bill to blow your nose into.
Do I wipe my ass or do I wipe off my tears?
Yeah, you have a choice to make. He's got plenty more.
Yeah. Well, all that's to say, man, is like, people don't want to work. Who wants to work? I don't want to fucking work. I'm not
Yeah,
going
and
to sit here and lie about it.
I hate when that's said in like a derogatory. Nobody really wants to work.
Yeah, people use it as an insult. Like, do you really want to go to a place and make another person way more money than the
Yeah,
work you do bring? Like, I mean, you think about it, like the average shopkeep, I will call them, so they feel dignified. So I feel dignified. Because that's what I think of myself as is the local
as a
shopkeep,
shopkeep, you are the
cor-
shopkeep. Sheep.
corporate store or not. I don't. I think that role can still be present in society, even though there's massive chains that move into our little rural towns. But um, I don't know. Like, fuck. Where was I going with that? What was the last thing I said, Dustin? Folks,
You
this
like
is
to
a
think of
weed
yourself as
episode.
the local shopkeep.
Yes, and I brought that up because Um, oh yeah, I'm the shopkeeping stuff, but there's no doubt, without my labor and me being a representative for all the laborers out there, um, you couldn't make the sales without the dude there to fucking sell you the shit.
Yeah.
It sounded way more profound and smart in my head. It did not come out as smart as I thought it.
How much have you had to smoke today, Boo Boo?
Let's see, I took like 2 GBs in preparation for this episode, and I'm going back on my promise to smoke weed on camera because honestly, I want to be present and participate
I
in the
can see
episode.
your eyes already, so I
So
know
I'm
you're.
drinking a C4 to try to balance it out.
That's why I waited until I hit record.
Oh shit. And see, I'm such a pussy now, dude. Like I
No,
used to
no.
wake up and take them to the face. I'm not a pussy. I'm sorry. I'm just my tolerance is severely lower than it once was because I used to just wake up and take them to the face and go to work and be fine. Yeah,
Oh, I could never do that.
it sucks now.
Yeah, but
You get you paranoid and shit.
not our greatest segue, but we can jump into the history of marijuana, weed, cannabis, ganja, devil's lettuce. I'm running out of nicknames for it, but when I guess, well, I mean,
That's what we'll call this your segment. I just found out what we'll call it. Dustin segue.
Dustin segue. Okay, yeah, I like that.
But we need to get like a little graphic of you of your cartoon dude on a fucking
On a
a real
segue
segue. Yeah.
with elevator music playing.
Yeah. Or like the technical you think like we'll be right back. We are experiencing technical difficulties.
Do 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 do
Yeah, exactly. It's the music like that.
do.
Oh shit.
So, weed is a plant. So, can you guess when it was invented?
When it was invented. God. Would
Well, let's say it like this: when it was domesticated.
I like invented more. I like to think it was one of the first plants ever conceived.
Oh, that'd
By
be
God.
nice. If only we had evidence of that, but we don't.
Yeah, there's no strong empirical facts to back up that claim, but
No, but I
everybody
like it,
loves
so
weed.
we're gonna use it.
Yeah.
We're gonna say it was the first plant. Genetic and archaeological evidence suggests that cannabis sativa was domesticated about 12,000 years ago in East Asia, or broadly in the region of Central Asia and the Altai Mountains. It's a fun word.
Wow.
So they've
Never
found
heard of it.
cannabis. Nah, me neither. They've discovered cannabis seeds in Neolithic sites. Hemp fiber impressions appear on pottery in China dating back to the 5th millennium BCE, which was the
Wow.
Yang Shao culture. Yang Shao culture. Wow, I can't say. This will be fun. And recent study, rather, even places the evolution of cannabis around 28 million years ago on the eastern Tibetan plateau. And this is
Wow.
based on archaeological findings of pollen. So, yeah.
Why do you
But
think it evolved to be the way it does? Do you think it like there was a problem with it catching on fire or something and they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna fuck you up." You know? Mark my words. You
if they
breathe
were just
me in,
like,
Buster.
yeah, if they were like, I don't know. I don't know about. I'm thinking like when they first discovered. I'm imagining like some cavemen trying to start a fire. They find a bush, throw it in there, and everyone's just like sitting around like,
Like, dude,
yeah, that smoke, man, it smells really good.
God, dude, I could really go for a bite to eat.
Do we have
Hey,
any more? Do we have any more mammoth meat in the fridge?
grab me the fucking mammoth haunch from the cave there, will you? Just throw that son of a bitch on the fire.
Some General So's man. We got some left.
Right. Give me some of that green mammoth. I'm sure it's still good.
Yeah, we don't know exactly when it was first used for. You know, as fun for smoking and stuff like that. But that's how I imagine it happened. I know it's not right, but the
That's way
earliest,
funnier to think of.
yeah, it is. The earliest recorded medicinal reference to cannabis is in Chinese texts in the legendary Shengnong pharmacopoeia. We're going to say pharmacopoeia,
Pharmacopoeia.
which is agreed by most historians to be had to have been written around 2700 BC. Cannabis was used for treating conditions like rheumatism, gout, common female problems, and malaria.
Malaria.
And
Wow.
malaria.
Wow.
Over centuries, they also cannabis was also used for fiber, rope, cloth, seeds, and oil for nutrition and lamp oil, and
Ooh.
for other medicinal preparations. So
I wonder if that shit got you stoned.
that's a good question because they didn't have the refine. I wouldn't imagine they'd have the refining capabilities we have now when it comes to
Yeah,
like
true.
oils. But yeah, it might have. Like,
If
yeah,
they
that
had like,
light's that lamp's great, but it also, man, also.
dude, I'm telling you, this lamp, dude, you got to stand near this thing. It's fucking magical. This shit is crazy, man. You will feel so good.
Like everyone's just standing around that lamp, and they're like, "Man, there's so much beauty in the world,
Dude, why do we even fight these wars, dude?
dude,
What are we thinking, man? We
dude.
need to come
Where's my
together.
lamp,
Oh, dude, pass the lamp.
dude? Pass the lamp. You just said pass the lamp.
It'll catch on.
It'll catch on. Well, the shape of a lamp, shape of a bong. I'm wondering.
I mean, it's all right there.
It is,
The breadcrumb trails are there. We just have to follow them,
but we'll
and we'll
get there. We'll
find our
get there.
loaf.
We'll get there. We'll get
That's
there.
right. That's right. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, we are. In India, Persia, and Hindu tradition, cannabis was also used. In India itself as a continent, cannabis, such forms as bong, ganja, and charas, was integrated into religious, medical, and recreational life. So it was not just a religious or medicinal thing; it was almost a encompassing thing overall through everyday life in India. So
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and in fact, Hindu legend holds that Shiva is associated with cannabis, which I didn't know.
No, I didn't know that either. You think with those forearms he smokes like four joints?
I would.
Right? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, why
Or at
wouldn't you?
least three and cup your balls with the other one.
You got to have a free hand for something, right?
Yeah, yeah, of course. And
I
it's
was gonna.
also it's spurned the thought for me of like, it's pretty common you hear about like shamans and some of the more
Ancient.
dynasty types. Yeah, and a lot of those ancient civilizations, there's like some kind of shaman or something. And I'm starting to sit here and think like, you know what? I think that's just what the people called themselves because they were the fucking village drug addicts. And they just yeah, they just wanted to get super stoned and be like, no, 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 no. I'm talking to fucking God, dude. Don't interrupt. Don't
I thought
judge
of it
me.
more of like everyone else in the village saw them smoking weed all the time. Like, oh, look at this pothead. He's like, no, man, I'm a shaman. That's what I am. I'm a shaman.
You smoking weed over there, dude? Oh man. They're
Shaman.
like, oh,
That might. There it is.
okay,
There it is.
okay,
That's what happened.
boom.
That's how we got the word. Text from that time attribute uses such as it was an analgesic, anti-phlegmatic, anti-fever, and it also aided in sleep, and it did a lot more too. Like made you feel great.
Hey, relax.
Relax, guy. and
Hey,
a
relax, guy.
and an analgesic drug is that's just a complicated way of saying it's a pain reliever. So
It's a funny way of saying it.
moving through more ancient stuff because it's not really until I'd say the 19th, well, not even the 19th century, probably in between the 19th and 20th centuries is when things get crazy, and we're going to get there. Overall, it was not looked at as a taboo thing. It was healing. It was a medicinal thing. So,
That's it. Do you
like,
think it's strange that
yes.
there? Fair enough. Do you think it's strange that we have cannabinoid receptors in our brains?
Oh, we're getting there. Actually,
Oh boy.
it is weird, but well, that word comes up later, and we'll talk about it a little bit. It may be a little while, but believe me, we'll get there. We'll get there. Right now, we're going to
Okay.
talk about the
Okay.
history, but we'll get there. Good point to bring up, though, because that was one of the last things I wrote down because I just didn't realize. Are you munching?
Mm-mm.
So, in the ancient Greek and Roman world, figures like Galen and Dioscorides mentioned cannabis for conditions such as earache, tumors, and inflammation, and the Greek historian Herodotus describes the Scythians using hemp in steam baths, like throwing seeds on hot stones under tents to inhale the vapors from it. Which
Brilliant.
man, of all the ways I've heard to take it in, that's not one I've ever heard of.
Shit. Just throw those fucking seeds on the hot rock there.
From Persia and the Arab world, cannabis use, especially hashish, spread further, and under the Islamic Golden Age, hashish became a known psychoactive substance. So it really started to like get pretty powerful, man. That's what it sounds like. You are
Because
so high.
hashish is is that like an oil? Is it like a gum? Hashish.
I've heard the word a lot. I can't say I
It
exactly
is a
know.
it is a cannabis concentrate product.
Oh, that's where the psychedelic sides of it
Okay.
began.
So what these dumb rednecks around here call hash. I got some hash, man. It's hashish. That like I don't know if you've
Hashish.
ever um as far as your use without divulging as much as you're comfortable with, have you pretty much just smoked like I know you've eaten the edibles, but you pretty
Yeah,
much just smoked the
just a
flower,
flower.
right?
Just a flower.
Just
Yeah, yeah.
the flower.
I've Yeah, I've smoked it in wax form.
Okay.
Living resin, I've had that before, which that stuff's
Yes,
potent. I did not like that.
shit's just too powerful, man. Like I, and
Yeah, it takes all the
the
fun
people
out
that
of it.
right. Like I already have to fight off the couch lock and the sleepy every
The
time.
couch lock, I like that.
Fucking, and people that just smoke the wax and shit, dude. I don't see how you do it. I'd say you're better than me, but no,
But you're not.
you're not.
Just so you
Because
know,
I'm
you're
here.
freezing up a lot on video.
Hey, I was gonna say the
But
same
it's
about you.
oh, okay. Well, maybe it'll even out in the wash. But for a minute there, for about 30 seconds, you froze up like this. So I was, yeah, I'm not complaining. It's funny. Yeah, yeah. I've only really messed with the flour and the wax. I don't remember what that stuff was called. There was something else I've tried. Moon rocks. I've smoked
Uh,
in moon rock, and that was
Woohoo!
that was yeah, I like that. I don't
No,
like being too high. It's more of a it chills me out, gets rid of that anxiety and that extra voice in my head, and it also helps me sleep. So it's a great way to stay in shape.
now, follow up question. How old were you the first time you smoked weed?
Ooh, older than most. I was I was past the age of 21, believe it or not.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's pretty cool. I was um I was 13.
I was expecting you to be like right out of the womb, right out of the
Right. Right. Yeah, I was fucking born with a joint in my mouth.
womb, and a cigarette in my hand.
No, but you know, well, we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll
We'll
do
get
some
there. We'll
shit at
get
the
there.
end. I'll get through the actual history and shut the hell up.
Yeah, the history is a lot, so we'll try to run through it because it is pretty cool. And I know if I haven't heard this
Little pit
stuff, I
stops
know
here and
a
there.
lot of other stuff haven't heard that. Yeah, a couple pit stops, couple pit stops. So through trade and conquest, hemp spread to Europe and North Africa, and in the 16th century, Spanish colonists introduced cannabis, primarily in the form of fiber and hemp, to Chile. And in North America, early settlers grew hemp for rope, textile, and other industrial uses. In some cases, cultivation was mandated by law or socially accepted. Like, it was expected of you to grow weed in early North America, which is pretty crazy.
They're like, do your part. We need rope
Like
and clothes.
Jamestown, the colony, in Virginia, here where we
Hmm.
live, we've got a Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
In the 17th century, they required their settlers to grow hemp. They were required to do it. And George Washington and Thomas Jefferson both experimented with hemp cultivation on their estates for fiber. It's not known if they actually smoked it, which would be pretty wild if they did.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's the difference between that and like, look, there's plenty of people that would think their president or like, you know, whoever you vote for or whatever would have a beer at the end of the day, just like you would. Like people vote based on different things, but I like to think they try to identify with the person. You know what I mean? So like, you're gonna
Right.
fucking transpose things on them, like, hey, fucking. I drink a beer after I work 12 hours, so surely my state senator does too, right? Because he works hard all day.
Surely. So what you're saying is that we like for that reason we hoped that George Washington and Thomas Jefferson smoked weed too.
Well, I think not just us, because I think it'd be cool and funny, but I think probably the people that were mandated to grow the shit, they're like, you guys better at least be fucking smoking this shit,
Oh yeah, okay. So
right?
at least oh, if I have to grow it, oh, George is growing it too, Mr.
Yeah.
Washington. Okay.
Sometimes I partake, and if they're
Sometimes
growing it, I mean, maybe they are too. They
reminds
got
me
my
of
vote.
the Roger Smith from American Dad talking about heroin. It's like I said something to the effect of big heroin fan here. Don't like to use it, just like to be around it. Smell it, sniff it, absorb it,
Oh
observe
my
it,
god.
yeah, observe it, use it sometimes. Like all that just to say he still uses it. Well, I don't know. It just made me think of that. I probably butchered that because it's been a long time since I've seen that episode, even though it's one of my favorite quotes. But yeah, in the 19th century, we began to see medicinal cannabis in the Old West. Like, on the East Coast in the colonial days, it was more of a hemp thing, right? But yeah, it became a medicinal thing in the West when doctors began studying cannabis's medicinal effects,
Hmm.
and they would often use extracts and opium cannabis mixtures.
Oh my god.
So, and I was wrong about the Old West. I meant the Western medicine. I just got excited because I saw 1800s in Western, and I put it all together.
Well, it's all right there.
What
It's
broke me
funny as
back?
shit to think about fucking Wyatt Earp and Billy the Kid and shit. You're like, it was so much pain. I want to just smoke this joint.
Here, doc, take some to relieve your tuberculosis.
You coughing up blood? Here, smoke a joint about it. Shut up.
Here's some opium too. Why not?
Right. Just throw a little baggie of heroin at him.
We're
Get out of
gonna
my
give you,
fucking office.
and we'll give you some leeches for the rest of it. So,
You got bad blood.
you got bad blood. You need some ghosts in your system. William Brooke O'Shaughnessy. I'm probably saying that wrong because it's Irish. O'Shaughnessy.
Stupid Irish.
I'm sure it's got a
I can
weird.
say that.
Yeah, you can say that. I can't. I'm sure it's got some proper pronunciation, but I want to say O'Shaughnessy. I'm just going to say it as it's spelled. A Irish physician in British India, he observed cannabis's effects on muscle spasms, rheumatism, tinnitus, convulsions, and nausea, and introduced it therapeutically into Western medicine in Britain, Europe, and the U.S., places like that. Cannabis was even included in the U.S. pharmacopoeia from the mid 1800s until about 1940. And
Bastards.
medical journals in America at the time recommended cannabis seeds or preparations for ailments like muscle pain, skin inflammation, neuropathy, things like that. So early on, they began using it, you know, for all sorts of medicinal purposes, which is pretty cool. So what happened?
Yeah, do tell. What happened? Because it
Oh,
sounds like it went from being the best fucking plant God ever made to, well,
yeah,
the war on drugs.
yeah. Towards the 19th and 20th century, late 19th to the early 20th century, rather, several nations and regions began to restrict it, often moral and social anxieties. For example, the 19th century bans started in Brazil, South Africa, and Greece, whereas in the U.S., the Pure Drug and Food and Drug Act in 1906 was what required labeling of habit-forming substances. Cannabis was sometimes included in that, but not always. Just depended where. And many states in the U.S. even passed cannabis restrictions before the federal government acted, like and made it, a nationwide thing.
Crazy. But
And yeah, it
I
gets
also
worse.
I wouldn't argue that it's not habit forming.
No,
I wouldn't.
I don't believe it's addictive, but it can be dependent.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great way to put it. Like you're not gonna fucking your bones aren't gonna hurt if you don't smoke weed. But
No,
like,
I feel like the withdrawals you experience from cannabis and cannabis and marijuana is what I was going to say. Same thing. I was going to say aren't the physical pain that other addictions inflict when you withdraw from them, like
no,
when you're
different
addicted.
receptors.
Yeah,
Different
yeah,
receptors. The opioids are like the pain receptors and shit, right? Like we're
yeah,
not.
yeah. It like makes everything go haywire. I imagine once you
Hmm.
try to get away from it. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But
Whereas weed is like, man, I'm kind of lazy. I don't feel like doing anything. And then you stop smoking weed and you're like, holy shit, I can do stuff. Or wait, maybe that's just me. It's different for other people. But anything can be habit forming.
I just thought of a question I wanted to ask that I didn't search for either.
All right.
Because we mentioned the dangers of weed or not weed of opium. I wanted to see if opium was restricted before weed because in old times. Just
For obvious reasons.
yeah, and it was okay. So there was like the first law for opium was enacted in 1875, which outlawed opium smoking and opium dens. So yeah, we did something good.
I wonder if that was actual concern for the citizens, or was it because of the influx of like how many of those places were like Chinese run? You know what I mean? Like you think opium
Oh
dens,
yeah.
you think they're like I'm not. This is not. I can't. I'm not going to clarify this anymore. I'm not racist, so I'm just going to state facts here. Okay. Well, I feel like it sets you up to look like a fucking racist if every time you
Yeah,
say
like if it was
something
pulled out of
slightly ethnic,
context.
you're like, well, what, hang on now, hang on. Guys, I'm not racist, but I am going to mention someone's race. It's just true, man. You had Chinese railroad workers. There were Chinese opium dens and shit, man. It's just the nature of people coming to America. Like, they're going to bring, like that's, I'm pretty sure opium naturally is from over on that side of the world, you know, geologically speaking.
Yeah, and like you said, there was a lot of Chinese immigrants that helped build America. That's what you were
Yeah,
saying with the
thank you
with the
for
railroad
what you
stuff like
did.
that.
Sorry our government forced you guys to do that. That's kind of fucked up, but hey, you're here
Yeah,
now, so it's all good,
I
right?
believe yeah, and the opium dens in the Wild West were yeah. I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, that was definitely a thing. The opium dens, opium. I cannot speak today at all. This is
Because
not
you
just.
smoked weed.
It's not because of that. It's been an all day thing. I'm surprised I
Blame the
made that
weed. Just
sale
blame the
earlier.
weed.
I could. Um,
Be easy. People would buy it.
but yeah, I was trying to talk and read at the same time because I'm trying to find out more about the opiate thing, and I can't find everything. There's so much information that I don't have the time to look through all this right now. You know, to find what I'm looking for is what I'm realizing. But yeah, there were restrictions on opioids first. That's what I was looking for in a nutshell.
No smoking opiums in the den.
So what really happened was, or what really was the big turn towards prohibition of marijuana was in the 1930 or in the year 1930. The U.S. created the Federal Bureau of Narcotics and appointed Harry J. Anslinger, Anslinger, as the first
Oh,
commissioner. You'll see why I called him that here in a minute. Anslinger held the position for 32 years from 1930 to 1962, serving under 5 presidents. He pushed a highly aggressive campaign against cannabis, mainly employing sensationalist stories, racialized rhetoric, and media propaganda to shape public opinion. So he used all sorts of these just awful tactics to demonize marijuana.
marijuana.
And he, this is was part of his plan. Cannabis had always been called cannabis up until that point. Okay.
Yeah, wasn't that name just brought up just to make it sound more Hispanic, like more Mexican?
Yeah,
It
that's
was
the
was this
reason
big contingency?
he popularized the term marijuana, linking the drug to Mexican immigrants. And he also tried to link Black Americans, jazz culture, and to crime, and to stoke fear and racism,
God,
xenophobia,
I'm
racism.
so glad we don't do that anymore in the fucking society.
Right. I'm so glad we're past that.
I'm so glad we're so far removed from that.
Some of his infamous
Time is a
quotes, and
fucking wheel, ain't it?
yeah, I'm gonna censor myself for this one because it's not the word that everyone's probably thinking that he used, but it's another word that I'm not comfortable using. So,
Yeah. We're
you know what I
not
mean?
here
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
sling slurs. We're not in the
No, no, no,
business
no,
of
no,
using slurs on camera.
no, not on camera. Is one of some of his famous quotes that this is Harry Anslinger, by the way, said these things. Says
Asslinger.
reefer makes blank think there was just as good as white men.
Oh
That was one. Another one was
boy,
marijuana. Marijuana is the most violence-causing drug in the history of mankind. Those were two of his big quotes. I'm gonna see if I could. There's a list here. I'm gonna see if I can find
I'm
some more ridiculous ones. While you
I'm
dwell on that
really
for a second.
glad that politicians are more in touch now than then.
Oh, some of his other ones. You smoke a joint and you're likely to kill your brother.
What the fuck? You
Yeah,
smoke a
yeah.
joint and you become fucking Cain from the Bible?
But under the same rhetoric of saying that, he also says marijuana leads to pacifism and communist brainwashing.
What?
It's got to be one or the other.
That's what I'm saying. Like, are they again one more time just to really fucking nail the point? Okay, I'm so glad we don't do that in government anymore.
Another one was there are 100,000 total marijuana smokers in the U.S., and most of them are, and he names a bunch of ethnic groups, and then finishes it with, and entertainers. Their satanic music,
Okay,
jazz
well,
and
the one
swing.
truthful statement.
Hold on. Their satanic music, jazz and swing music,
Oh
resulted
my
from marijuana usage. So he believes that swing and jazz music is a result of weed smoking.
god. It's like you smoke one joint, next thing you know, you're doing the jitterbug. What the fuck, dude?
And here's one of my favorite ones. Not only because of how ridiculous it is, it's also I'll explain later. His it was if the hideous monster Frankenstein came face to face with marijuana, he would drop dead of fright. I like it not only because the implication that the monster would drop dead out of fear of weed, but also because he called the monster Frankenstein. It was Frankenstein's monster. Not Frankenstein was the doc anyway.
Right.
It's stupid
Again.
on levels. It just
No, right. Right. Like, god damn it, dude. Wow. Talk about mudslinging, dude. That's crazy.
hold on just a second.
So it was a race thing because see, like in my early edgy years when I was learning about marijuana, trying to appreciate it for more than
There
what
we
it
go.
was, a drug. You know, it's cool and all, yeah, yeah. But at the end of the day, it's just a drug, dude. And so, well, for me anyway. Until I'm old and painful, then I'll be like, it's my medicine. It back off. Yeah, I want my weed.
Freak off, Burb.
Yeah, frig off. I want my freaking pet. Um, yeah, I always heard like, this dude was a lobbyist for the timber industry and blah 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 blah. But it sounds like he was just caricature fucking racist, man.
He was comically evil from the sounds of it.
Yeah.
And it gets worse because in 1933 in Tampa, Florida, a young man named Victor Licata murdered his family with an axe. That's terrible.
He's like, see, I bet he was smoking pot.
That's basically what happened.
Oh my god.
The incident was seized upon by Asslinger. We're going to call him Asslinger.
Hmm.
And the press, of course, as a marijuana murder, though later investigations suggested he had a long history, the poor guy, the young man, had a long history of mental illness, and there was no reliable evidence that he'd ever used cannabis.
It's not an axe problem. It's a mental health crisis.
Despite that, this case became his centerpiece. Like, that was his big
Wow.
one. Yeah, despite no
One
evidence.
one isolated event.
And
And the dude's
this,
like, this is
yeah.
what's going to happen. This is not what could happen. This is what is going to happen if you smoke
and
weed.
and despite all this stuff, marijuana was legal at the time. It was regulated, but it was legal
Hmm.
because they had just come off a prohibition of alcohol, and we saw how that worked out. So what happened was in 1937, the U.S. Congress passed the Marijuana Act or Tax Act rather, and this act required anyone dealing in cannabis, growers, sellers, and users, to register, pay a tax, and adhere to strict bureaucratic rules, effectively making legal use almost impossible. So it was, instead of just saying it's illegal, we're just going to make it really difficult to get.
Right. We're just gonna make it a headache.
Yeah,
Not illegal. Just a headache
and
to fucking actually do.
years later, it was that act was overturned by a lawsuit on constitutional grounds. of unreasonable search and seizure. I'm not sure how that played into. I didn't really have. It's not about that. It's about we're talking about other stuff here. But by that time, the infrastructure of prohibition essentially was firmly in place. Like it was under prohibition, even though we didn't legally call it that. Oh, there's a ferret in here with me. All right,
Yeah,
hold on. I've got to let
yeah.
him out real quick, so I'm gonna have to edit this out. But I'm gonna let him out.
Nah, leave it in. Leave it in. We love it.
Leave it in, you say?
Yeah, leave it in. Leave it in. It's all organic. And I think the alcohol and what you just said kind of shows that fucking people are gonna do drugs, man. Like people just like getting high, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think the problem is like moderation. Welcome back, Dustin.
Oh,
Did
so
you catch all that?
no, but I guess that means we're gonna have to keep it in,
Yes,
including the
I
part,
manufactured a scenario where we have to leave that in.
including the part where I tried to find my chair and I could not find it.
We wouldn't have known. We wouldn't have known, but you called it out. No, I was saying how like the alcohol prohibition and what you just said kind of fucking it just really shows that like people are gonna do drugs, man, and you should probably just leave them alone. I mean, don't peddle it, don't push it onto people. Quit exploiting people's suffering and addictive natures. But like that being said, man, leave them be. If someone wants to come home and smoke a bowl instead of like fucking drinking alcohol, who gives a shit, dude?
Right.
Like, someone wants to do a little blast of meth before work. Hey, you showed up. You're doing the work of four guys. Don't steal. Okay, maybe not that one.
Maybe the last
not that
example.
extreme. Okay, maybe that was not good. But the weed, man, come on, it's a plant. Who gives a
Well, see,
fuck?
the American Medical Association at the time would have agreed with you. They opposed the restrictions. They were like, there's insufficient scientific basis that there's any issue, and they were, just ignored because fuck them.
They're like, Mr. Asslinger, what kind of weed are you smoking, dude?
Yeah, they're like,
What are you
maybe.
talking about?
Are you sure that's weed?
I don't want to murder anybody.
So, on the state level, 29 U.S. states had already passed some form of marijuana prohibition by that time. And like I said, that was in 1937. A big thing that happened, and we still talk about it to this day. I think we joke about it with Paul sometimes. But the 1936 film Reefer Madness dramatized marijuana's alleged dangers, violence, insanity, seduction, and was later they used that in public campaigns. That was is just a big propaganda thing.
Well, thank God. This episode might have to be retitled Time is a Circle. Because one more time, I'm going to say, thank God we don't give in to propaganda without actually knowing this stuff.
Maybe we'll call it "Time is a Smoke Circle."
Time is a smoke session.
Yeah, time is a smoke session. And in 1444, yeah, that'll work. 1944, the LaGuardia Report, which was commissioned by the New York Academy of Medicine, reviewed the evidence and found that marijuana did not cause violence, insanity, or promote crime, and it completely contradicted with the message of Mr. Asslinger. Like, there's chat all over it.
And people were like, dude, it's the fucking government. All right? They wouldn't lie. This scientist here, he's clearly got an agenda. What do they know?
Yeah, and the funny thing was they didn't shit all over him like by making fun of him. They just presented the evidence as like, no.
All right, guys. As a matter of fact, sir, you are not just wrong, but you're way off.
Oh yeah, you're way off. During that time frame, this was 1944 that took place, but during World War II, despite the prohibition, the U.S. government ran a campaign titled Hemp for Victory, pressing farmers to grow hemp for rope, canvas, and other wartime materials, because imports became scarce. It was like, oh yeah, these things are evil unless we need you to make it. Don't smoke the flower, but we need the hemp.
I mean it. Punishable by
I
jail
mean it.
time and death.
Don't you do it.
You fucking terrorist.
Can you
You damn
guess what
commie.
happened next?
Um, they fucking we were like, okay, actually, you guys won't stop smoking, so fucking rope is illegal now.
You would think that would be the next logical step. It makes sense.
Sure
No,
does.
but in the 1950s and 60s, the U.S. drug policy hardened, of course. Mandatory minimum sentences, harsher sentences, and surveillance on people using drugs was increased. And in the 70s, the Controlled Substances Act categorized marijuana as a Schedule One substance, which put it on the same level as heroin and LSD. And what that means is substance one. I don't know if it's changed, but at the time at least, substance one meant there's no accepted medical use and it has a high potential for abuse.
So it sounds like they just hated hippies and war veterans.
That might have had a lot to do with it, maybe.
Because I mean, hippies, LSD, weed, right there. Well, honestly, veterans, fucking opium, weed. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Vietnam's where the shotgun was pioneered
Oh.
using actual shotguns.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got nothing on that, but maybe. Sounds good. I don't know if I want to know the truth.
Well, I think it's a way for multiple, like they burn it or like I don't actually know. I'm just gonna shut up.
So, moving on.
I'm not a historian, goddamn it.
Neither of us
Just a
are.
stone dude on the internet right now.
So Nixon created a commission called the Schaefer Commission to look into drug stuff, and basically what they did was recommend decriminalizing personal marijuana possession. Basically saying it shouldn't be on this list, dude. And he was like, "Fuck that." Nixon rejected it. This was right after they declared the war on drugs,
Oh
targeting
my!
cannabis heavily, even though all this evidence said it's not that bad. Guys, calm down.
Nixon's like not good enough.
And in '73, as a result of all this stuff, the war on drugs, the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Administration, was created. So,
Oh joy!
well, without them, we wouldn't have Breaking Bad. So,
Ah, that's true.
I mean, they were a
Hank
pivotal
was a great
part.
character.
I did like Hank.
I like
Him
Hank
and
a lot. He
Mendes.
was kind of. I didn't really like him when I went like when you
Not at
first see how he
first.
fucks with Walt. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, okay, dude. Okay, Mister Alpha, fucking testosterone, bro. Get the fuck
but
out of here.
that's how I felt at first. But then I realized that that's just a ploy because everybody knows a guy like that.
Right. And I felt
Like,
like I was right there with Walt. Hank! Hank! Fucking beating him. I love that shit. Dude, the internet's great.
that is great. So, in 1996, California passed Proposition 215, and it became the first U.S. state to allow medicinal marijuana. I did not realize it was that far back. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
The San Francisco Cannabis Buyers Club, which started in the early 90s by activists and AIDS patients, interesting,
Why did I laugh at that?
was among the first
Really,
buyers
Dustin?
club to
You did that on
distribute.
purpose.
No, I didn't. I had forgotten that it was part of it was because the AIDS patients swore by the marijuana as a medicinal thing, and they created the Buyers Club to help ill people get medicinal cannabis. So,
Okay. Okay.
and obviously over the years, more U.S. states and countries worldwide really have started legalizing medicinal and recreational cannabis. Here in Virginia, for example,
All right.
gives us the
Ish.
freedom, ish. Yeah, there's still so many. It's a whole
Thank God
thing.
we
It's a
can't go
whole
to
thing.
jail for smoking it no more. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Fucking
true. That is the
convoluted.
big thing. Yeah, by 2010 and the 2020s, legalization movements matured. Colorado and Washington legalized recreational use in 2012. Canada legalized cannabis at the federal level in 2018, and so did Uruguay. How do you say that? Uruguay.
What?
Uruguay. Some country. Other countries have legalized it. You're too high for that.
I'm not too high. Goddamn. I fucking take a few hits, everything I do that I'd normally do on cameras because I'm too fucking high. I'm always an idiot like this. Don't blame it on the weed.
It would help if you weren't looking at the camera like this.
You can't help it. I'm 3/4 Asian.
What? Oh,
I'm sorry. Maybe I am a little stoned.
you're a little bit. Oh,
C4
so
didn't do shit. Now I'm just high faster.
yeah, just higher, faster. Um, so the key takeaways here is that the criminalization of cannabis in the U.S. is deeply ingrained with racialized fear campaigns, thanks to Ass Slinger. He was very, very explicit about Black and Latino communities, linking cannabis use to degeneracy, interracial sexuality, insanity, and crime. Those were things he blamed on marijuana. Yeah. So, yeah, it was very race heavy. In fact, there were even some groups that tried to ban drugs early on that were more concerned about white youth moral decay. So they were like, it's not about racism, but it's like, really?
And it's got nothing to do with race.
And yeah, it's got
Like,
nothing
you
to do with
guys, it's racist of you to say that it's racist. I think you just hate white people.
So that's pretty much why it became illegal, is because of one. Now that's just in the U.S. I don't know what causes other countries. I didn't want to go into all that because who knows how long we'd be here.
Who cares? We're in the best country.
We've got listeners all over the world that are going to be like, really?
Yeah, I stand by it. Come
But
to America and fight me.
we're obviously not wrapping up yet. We've still got some stuff to talk about. But first, I feel like we need to say a few things. Go ahead and warm the Eagles up real quick. Thanks, Tom.
Balls Cockner.
Calm down. Yeah, okay. No, he's warming
Balls,
up. He's been shredding in the background since we
balls,
started.
tune that fucking guitar.
It's just
God
a little
damn it.
flat, buddy. A little flat. There you go. There you go.
Note's a little flaccid there, pal.
First of all, I'm going to pitch Patreon. Go to everydayhistory.com patreon.com/everydayhistory. I always get that mixed up. Also, the Cash App, cash symbol, Dustin Lloyd 2025. Me and Boo Boo will split it, or we'll put it towards advertising. Feel free to, even if you're just sending us something for coffee. We drink a lot of coffee. A lot of coffee.
Let's not lie to the lads. You and I both have a crippling energy drink addiction.
That's
we moved
true.
beyond
I
coffee.
forgot about the
Coffee was the gateway drug.
Yeah, and now it's the Celsiuses and so on and so forth.
Balls, baby. I got fucking, what is this flavor today? Berry Power Bomb. I'm pretty sure.
Berry Power Bomb.
Yeah, it's one of the WWE ones. The other one sucks.
Oh, nice. Okay. The other one sucks.
Yeah, I don't like it. This one wasn't very good either, but it was red. Like, yeah. The other one was Ruthless Raspberry. It's got a cool name, but I just wish it tasted as cool as it sounded.
That does sound cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Are those fucking Eagles ready?
Oh, the Eagles are ready, but there was something else I wanted to pitch real quick.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
Yeah, just one more thing. I was recently reminded about this. I totally forgot we even had it. If you go to fatmanstudioshop.myshopify.com, we've got some t-shirts.
That's right, folks. Fat Man
We've got all about them. It's fatmanstudiosshop.com.
How the fuck do we forget to shout out our own studio?
I don't know, but here's
I dropped the ball.
I'm going to if I can find it, there he is. We're gonna here's just a sample of one of the 2 t-shirts you can find on our website right now.
Fat Man Studios.
Oh no, how do I get back? Okay.
Personal lore time.
There's the personal lore t-shirt. There's
the low rate of $19. Thank you.
The original guitar player on there.
Right, bald eagly.
That was Dildo Dave was the original guitar player, and unfortunately
We
he
had to
died
kick
in
him
a
out.
no, he died in a terrible schmelting accident. Remember?
Oh, my
Smelting accident.
Vinky is gold.
Yeah, it was exactly like that. That's how it happened. But yeah, you can go there and you can buy a T-shirt. They're yeah, $20. Uh, maybe more for fat guy sizes, but
Thanks, tariffs.
actually, I think that's cheaper than it was before. But anyway,
Oh my God! Don't, man. God damn it. All
oh, I
right.
could be wrong. I haven't
Then
looked at the
actually,
prices.
thank you, tariffs.
Maybe. We don't
Double
know.
meaning there.
We don't know. Let's get the fucking Eagles in here. This is a train wreck.
It's personal floor time.
And it'll cut short because I always forget that I need to fix that.
And little known fact, I'm actually balls Cockner without a hat. When I take my hat off, I have long ass dreads under here.
I've never seen you without a hat, but I see
I
the
know.
face. I see the face now.
You see it? Like
I
if
see
I
it now.
didn't say,
I wish you would have told me because I've been yelling at you off stage this whole time to
I
warm
was
up
I was hunched over playing guitar.
the whole time. So today's personal lore time is going to be about Tommy Chong.
Oh shit!
No, I'm lying. We're going to do one on Harry J. Ass Slinger.
Damn it! The guy we
I
just talked about.
Yeah, well, we're going to go into his life and see what the fuck happened.
He was accosted by a Mexican for sure.
He was born in 1892 and born in Altoona, maybe that's why, Pennsylvania. So that might have something to do with it. He grew up in a very strict household that valued discipline and order. So that's kind of what shaped his uncompromising attitude towards. It says law enforcement morality, but I wanted to say racism and drug
So
hatred.
he was just really intolerant household he was raised in, huh?
It's his first encounter with drugs occurred when he was around 12 years old, and a local family friend was addicted to morphine. And young Harry was the one sent to retrieve the medicine when she was in withdrawals, and this early experience left a strong emotional impact, and he said it later claimed it taught him the danger of narcotics. But if that's the case, why do you blame it all on race and stuff like that?
Right? Why would you be exposed to something like morphine and your mind goes to like, oh, gotta get rid of the weed?
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Unless
oh,
I don't know.
okay.
Unless you're just racist piece of shit.
That's probably the bulk of it. He joined the Pennsylvania Railroad police force in his teens and quickly rose through the ranks due to his sharp intelligence and his ability to build cases. He even served in the U.S. Army in World War One and in Europe. Yeah, intelligence. It will.
I have no
But
doubt he was probably intelligent for the time, but just
well,
like
there's
so
book smart.
misguided, you know?
Well, I don't know. Some of the stuff he said just so stupid. Like, well, we'll get
Yeah.
there. We'll get there.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You're right. Some of the shit is just goddamn ridiculous. I
Well,
imagine even
saying
for
that
the
it calls
time.
people to be extremely violent and also makes them susceptible to pacifism brainwashing. Which is it? But that's propaganda.
Right? It's
Propaganda
just
is like that. It's supposed to be, you know, two side. Like
yeah.
they are both my what is it? I've always heard my opponent is both super intelligent and smart, but they're also stupid and worthless or whatever. Like
Yeah.
you paint them as both extremes, and no one really thinks about it if it's done properly, and that's what he apparently did. Out of
Right.
context, you look at it and you're like, "Wow, yeah, he's stupid," but no, it's just a build of all these things.
Yeah. Nobody is above falling for propaganda either. Nobody.
No, no, I didn't fall for it. So in 1930, at the age of 38, Esslinger was appointed the first commissioner of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, created
Uh,
under the U.S. Department. We already went over that. The position gave him enormous power over drug policies. And at the time, marijuana was a fringe issue. It wasn't really, on anyone's radar. It was mostly used by mostly used in Mexican immigrant communities and among black jazz musicians. So he saw an opportunity to expand his power after the alcohol prohibition ended. They no longer had anything. That actually ended in 33. So to do that, like any good politician, or all politicians, he needed a new enemy. So,
Yes.
yeah, so that's where the war on cannabis began. Launched into it, like we said earlier, the strategic, sensational stories, exaggerated or even just completely fabricated, including that Victor Licata case where he, you know, the poor kid had severe mental issues and mental illness and
Chopped his
fucking
family
killed his
up.
family. Yeah, and blamed that on marijuana, even though there was no evidence that there was any marijuana, just that he had severe mental health issues. Of course, he also targeted jazz musicians,
it
claiming
was it
was
was
part of
jazz and pot that made him murder his family.
yeah, jazz and pot, claiming that cannabis was a part of their culture that threatened white America.
Dude.
His memos, and I'm not even, like I said, not going to go into a lot of this because of the language used and I'm not comfortable using. His memos were riddled with explicit racism, not anything subtle, just out there. He even tried to silence a famous jazz musician, Billie Holiday. Excuse me.
Shit.
Hold on. I hit a wrong button. Excuse me. There we go. He basically hounded her until the day she died.
Probably killed her.
I've. He might have. We don't know for sure, but he might have. I'm not going to say for sure.
Can a dead guy get you for defamation?
No, no, you're right. Yeah, he probably did it. He maybe did it. He definitely did it. She was a huge pioneer as far as jazz music, was.
What's her name?
Her Billie Holiday.
Billie Holiday?
Yeah. And she had a very unique vocal style that was strongly influenced by jazz instrumentalists. And that helped inspire a new way of manipulating phrasing and tempo in her vocals, which is really cool. I've heard some of her music.
One of the thumbnails for one of the videos I fucking pulled on Google looks hilarious. She's just in. Looks like she's like mid sneeze.
Oh, Asslinger also worked very closely with major newspapers, especially those owned by William Randolph Hearst,
Oh,
another name. Hearst helped spread the anti-marijuana propaganda. Why? Because he owned vast timber holdings and saw hemp as competition. So together they
there it
worked.
is.
They worked together to just pump out this propaganda to make way for the marijuana tax law or act of 1937, which all but made it impossible to obtain cannabis legally. So
That's crazy.
he testified before Congress for the to make this act happen, and it was filled with emotional is a word that I saw used in many people talking about this, racially charged claims rather than scientific evidence. Virtually no medical experts were called to testify in favor for the plant. Like they didn't even allow this other side to even talk. And his campaign succeeded, and it was outlawed. And he served as commissioner for 32 years, retiring in 62. Continued to advise on narcotic policies, and even became a representative to the United Nations.
Oh
And
my Jesus fuck, dude.
and he died in 1975, just as the cannabis reform movements were gaining some traction. His legacy is controversial, I would say.
Yeah. Dude sounds like an asshole.
He
And
was
again,
the
man, like, why is government no different today? Like, there's motherfuckers that get up there and cry and boo hoo in front of the Supreme Court. Yeah,
like you said, time's a circle. The more things change,
it
the
is.
more they stay the same. And
No doubt.
yeah, many historians rightfully view him as a architect of the racially biased drug laws that shaped American policy for decades. He was the guy. He laid the foundation for the war on drugs. Yeah, just wild, wild, wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's him,
Crazy.
and all for what? Because he needed a new enemy to get ahead and get more power.
What a
So
piece of shit.
Yeah. And just gonna go before we get to our top five, which we also need. I need like five separate videos of top number one or whatever you do, just to make
Move
it more
on.
consistent. We're gonna go over some pros and cons of cannabis,
Okay.
and I mean, it's like everything. There's no perfect anything. Nothing is absolutely 100% perfect.
No.
So this is not me trying to. I mean, obviously, you see that I support weed. This is not me trying to break it down with the cons. This is me trying to talk about both sides of an issue.
I'm starting to think you kind of hate weed, dude.
Huh?
Yeah, this guy fucking hates pot.
So one of the biggest pros to smoking cannabis, pot, weed, ganja, is its fast-acting relief. Smoking allows especially THC,
Cannabinoids.
cannabinoids, especially THC and CBD, to enter the bloodstream through the lungs almost immediately, and that's why a lot of people prefer smoking over edibles or pills, particularly in patients that have chronic pain, multiple sclerosis, muscle spasticity, PTSD, and chemotherapy related nausea that comes on real quick or suddenly. These things can it'll you'll feel the relief within minutes of smoking it, as opposed to 30 to 90 minutes with edibles or whatever. It also it also helps with pain and inflammation reduction. The cannabinoids that we mentioned earlier, THC and CBD, interact with the body's endocannabinoid system, which is what you were talking about earlier.
Uh,
Which I don't know much about, admittedly. I said we get
I
there. I
just
thought I
think
had
it's
more written down about it,
interesting.
but no.
I think it's interesting that these substances, that we can consume in so many different ways. Just, like we're geared in a way to consume it.
Yeah, because these what an endocannabinoid is a neurotransmitter that binds to cannabinoid receptors. So it's specifically designed in our body to absorb cannabis.
Yeah. There's no denying of that. That's just fascinating. However you look at it, I think.
Yeah. And the different here's something kind of interesting. The difference with THC and CBD is that THC, when it comes to this kind of pain, by the way, it has other things, but when it comes to pain and inflammation reduction, THC can modulate pain signals in the brain. It's what kind of dulls it. CBD, on the other hand, reduces or can reduce inflammatory responses in tissue. So one works on a brain level, one works on a body level.
I like that it alters too, whereas like an opioid just like turns that shit off.
Yeah, it's like walking into a room and turning off the light. Just
Right, right. Whereas marijuana is more like a dim switch.
yeah,
Bring it down
yeah.
to a level where it's
It's
it
still
hurts.
there,
It
but
hurts. You should know it hurts because you need to get it taken care of. Hello, this is your brain speaking. I'm trying to tell you to get better. But you still gotta, but that being said, I'm not a monster. Okay, we'll bring it down a little bit. Maybe I went a little overboard. I'm sorry.
oh no, you were fine.
Mhm.
Let's see, stress, anxiety, and mood regulation in some users. This is a thing too. Some individuals report reduced anxiety, elevated mood, or better sleep after moderate cannabis use. That's me. Low to moderate doses can have calming effect for some people. That's I don't get fucking crazy stoned. I get enough to sleep. Sometimes it's too much because I don't think about it. But this can also be a con for some people. At higher doses, it can cause you to. It can just cause your anxiety to be worse. Might heighten it a little bit. It does for me anyway.
Yeah,
Especially if I'm trying to.
yeah.
It also another thing. Go ahead. Especially
No,
when you're trying to sleep.
I was just agreeing with yeah.
Okay, I thought that's what you said, but I didn't realize after I said that. Potential harm reduction compared to alcohol and opioids. While cannabis use carries risk, is less likely to cause fatal overdose compared to alcohol. It's not even less likely. I don't know why that's written like that. Why did I write
Yeah,
that?
I don't know.
I was
It's just
smoking when I wrote this. It's not even less likely. It is near impossible to fatally overdose with cannabis. Same with mushrooms, by the way. You have to take an outrageous amount of either one to actually overdose.
oh really? I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, yeah. Some some studies suggest cannabis may help reduce dependency on more harmful substances in certain users, though that's not universal and it's or risk free. It may, so it just depends on how you're wired.
Yeah.
I do know a lot of people that have gotten sober because of weed, like especially from alcohol and I
Yeah, and
guess
they don't even go crazy
opioids.
with weed like they did on their drug of choice.
No,
I think
no,
that's the
they're
coolest
more
part.
relaxed, more aware of what they're actually, how much they're actually intaking, and not overdoing it.
Right, right.
So let's see. So the cons of smoking cannabis, smoking especially, respiratory irritation and lung health. Even though cannabis smoke doesn't contain the same additives as tobacco, it is safer than tobacco. Inhaling burnt plant matter still irritates the lungs, obviously.
Well, I also like to think if you've ever seen the inside of a bowl you've smoked out of a lot, yeah, it's probably not good for your lungs.
No, no,
Right?
no. It can lead to chronic bronchitis system symptoms. Geez, like coughing, phlegm, wheezing. And of course, this is not. It's not a everybody thing. Some people over long term have those things. Reduced lung capacity. I do know people like that all they smoke is weed and they can't run too far.
Yeah. I think it all comes down to like, all these things are independent of well, not independent, my bad. They're dependent on like, how well you treat your body as
There's a lot of
well.
factors,
Yeah, like
and
moderation and just
and
taking
then
care
there's
of
some
it.
people like I think with all things like all drugs, any type of substances at all, even food and drink and water, even everybody's body is different, and I think Ozzy was a great example of that. like
No
like
shit, dude.
whatever he was taking all those years should have killed him decades ago, but it would have killed a normal person. He's not superhuman.
Right.
That's just how he was. And there's other guys like that. There's other people like that. I know some
I'm
people
just
that
a
are
guy tank.
pretty crazy. THC also affects parts of the brain involved in memory, decision making, reaction time, coordination, and this can lead to slower reflexes, impaired short term memory, and reduced focus. That's why it is dangerous to drive or operate machinery while smoking weed. Cannabis DUIs are still a major legal issue in states where it is legal to smoke. Like you still shouldn't be smoking and driving. Not to point fingers at anybody. No, I'm joking.
Hey, I'm sober when I drive.
No,
Now.
no, I know you are. I've driven with you. It's just that you were totally silent, so I thought I'd turn that into a bit.
Now.
You're just over here like absorbing everything. Like, oh
I'm
wait,
just
what did he
like,
just
yeah, this
say?
is real interesting stuff.
What did
It's
this
cool.
asshole just tell me?
Nice.
Uh, Also, number three, there, like we talked about earlier, there is a risk of dependence. Not necessarily addiction, but it can lead to cravings. I guess you'd say. A withdrawal, as far as cannabis goes, would be you're irritable. Maybe you can't sleep as well, and you crave it. Those
I
that's just
also
dependency.
I don't believe in self-medicating, man. I just don't. Like when people are like, oh, I should probably go to a doctor. I know I have stuff wrong with me, but I just smoke a little weed about it. Like that's not gonna help you, dude. Like, there's real
No.
shit to tackle the real issues, and then there's just pitiful self-medication. I call it pitiful,
Yes.
but I don't mean that in like, it's not like you're a bad person. It's just not the right way to do it. I mean, I'm sorry. I take
Right.
it from someone who's been, like I said earlier in the show, I've been smoking. I'd spent longer in my life smoking weed than not, right?
The
And
maths.
right. So, and I mean, like, there's no doubt about it that some of that consumption was the escapism that comes with it. The wanting to
Yeah.
not think about your problems, not think about what's happening in front of you and stuff. And I'm just saying, I don't agree with the old propaganda. Definitely not that fucking Asslinger guy.
No, no,
But
no.
I think there's something to be said about the indulgent lifestyle that those guys were talking about, because it's like, just using it as some kind of fucking vehicle to ignore your problems is just not cool, man. You should just go to a
No.
doctor, take the right steps. If you're really in a bad spot and you feel like your life is out of your control or something like that, don't smoke weed about it, dude. You're just gonna be lazy, and then inevitably you're gonna be sober again, and that's when it'll hit you like a brick.
Uh, I was gonna play the music. I'm not going to. Um,
I was waiting for it.
no, I thought about it. And I'm like, nah, I'll let him finish. No, because I agree with a lot of what you're saying
Like,
there.
we need a Boo Boo's wisdom kind of way.
Well, you had me thinking because I noticed, and I never really put it together, but I noticed after you said all that, like my experience with weed, it wasn't as therapeutic for me as it was until after I had gone to therapy and
Right.
learned how to regulate things on my own. But also, I needed that extra, and that's what it helped me with. Even though obviously doctors in Virginia at this time would not recommend it, it wasn't illegal, but they still wouldn't recommend it because it's got the taboo. But
Right. It's a
you know,
drug.
yeah. So yeah, that was a great Boo Boo's rant. We're not even going to call it bullshit this time. It was a rant.
It might still be bullshit. I'm not an expert, so
That's true.
technically
That's
anything
true.
that comes out of my mouth is bullshit.
Oh fuck.
It's Boo Boo's bullshit.
You talked
Oh,
me
I
into the
remember that
proper
beard like
salutes.
I just had it yesterday.
Oh yeah, now you need to make an update.
Right. Put at least one with me, one of me with the mustache.
Yeah, yeah. That way it won't look like you, I don't know, filmed it all in one day or something.
No, I wouldn't do that.
No,
It'd be
but it
cheap.
looks like it because of the same beard. But obviously you changed your clothes and all that. So
Yeah, it had to be
it was
different.
different recordings. You didn't change your clothes. It was different
Yeah,
recordings.
exactly. Exactly.
Oh, on to the next topic before I put my foot in my mouth further. High THC strains can exacerbate or trigger mental health conditions in vulnerable individuals. This doesn't mean reefer madness like it causes this in everybody. It's certain people are already prepositioned to things
Yeah.
like anxiety attacks, panic attacks, psychosis, schizophrenia, but it worsens depression symptoms in other people too. But the thing is, those things are already there,
Right,
and
right.
this when the brain's a funny thing, and it can exacerbate these things, but that doesn't mean that it causes these things. It's just it brings those out of certain people that are in a vulnerable state.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's not to self-diagnose, but I think that's some of, you live long enough with yourself and you kind of learn some things about yourself, right? I don't feel that's too ridiculous of a statement.
Right.
But I definitely noticed after I made certain choices in my life that like getting high just I mean, I just, get in my head too bad. And I don't
Yeah.
know what that is, but I don't know. Why did I even bring up you know yourself? Well, I told you before that I'm not going to self-diagnose.
Right.
I'm
Right.
not a medical professional.
So, what do you say? Because we've gone on this topic pretty long today, and we've got some DayZ rating to do, or not rating, but training to do.
Plus, Daddy's got to piss like a fucking horse.
So do I. So you know what? Let's go ahead and do that top five.
Right. Let's do it.
So, number one,
Number one.
the U.S. government once held the only legal marijuana farm. During the height of the prohibition, they secretly grew cannabis at the University of Mississippi starting in 1968. And it was the only federally legal cannabis cultivation site in the country, and the program was designed to supply marijuana for clinical research. Then you can see how that went.
They're like, no good. It works too good.
Now, some patients for decades. There were some patients that did get these things, but they were people that had the privilege. So yeah, so much for that. So I guess that sucks. Number two.
Number two.
Number two is early cannabis prohibition was tied to the war on hemp, not just weed. We already covered that. To be fair, I added
Lost
the
you, brother.
you lost me. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
What happened?
I don't know. You're frozen.
Oh, but I'm still here.
Tune
You can
back
still
in
hear.
for part two.
You can still hear me though, right?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
All right. So I don't know what you last heard. Hopefully, it's all still going to be in the episode. Like we said,
I'm
early
gonna
cannabis.
black out my camera and mute and go piss real quick, dude.
All right, I'm just going to
You
go.
keep telling the people the fact.
I will. I'll go over the facts. All right. So early cannabis prohibition was tied to the war on hemp. We already covered that. Number three, there's a 5,000-year-old burial with cannabis plants still intact, and that was uncovered in modern day China. It was Yanghai Cemetery. It contained nearly 800 grams of cannabis. Boo Boo would have loved that. Laid carefully across his chest like an offering, and chemical analysts later confirmed that there were high levels of THC, suggesting it was for ritual or medicinal purposes, not just as a fiber. It was so well little things, fibers can still be seen under a microscope. Number four, it was a major U.S. crop. During World War II, the U.S. government produced a film titled "Hemp for Victory," encouraging farmers to grow their own ropes, for hemp for ropes, uniforms, and ship rigging, stuff like that. The farmers were given special hemp bonds, government-backed guarantees that paid them for production, and these bonds became a small but real wartime economic incentive. With things being the way they were, over 375,000 acres of hemp was grown between 1942 and 1945. And in number five, THC wasn't isolated until 1960s. Cannabis had been used for thousands of years, but they didn't actually isolate THC, the primary psychoactive compound, until Raphael McCollum and his team at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem did that in 1964. And it revealed how cannabinoids interact with the human biology and paved the way for uncovering the endocannabinoid system, which we talked about earlier.
So cool.
So there we go. There's our top 5 facts that Boo Boo missed. You have to listen
Sorry,
back. Well, that just about does it. I think that's our longest one episode ever.
Oh,
So
watch the whole thing if you're
there we
not
go.
lame.
Right, you can watch. Yeah, if you need video, I know for sure on Spotify and YouTube this will be on video. I know this is at the end of the program and you're just now realizing this, but for future reference.
Makes me realize how redundant what I just said was, because you heard that, you got to the end.
Oh, well, that does it for us, Boo Boo. We're
We got to
We're
get
too high for this episode. No, we don't.
Damn it.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Oh,
See you soon on DayZ, friend.
try. Let's go fuck some shit up.